Welcome, Mush Eaters, to this American Civil War mod, ACW2, where we are reviewing the Ninth Corps under General Ambrose Burnside during one of the bloodiest battles of the war, Antietam, obviously the bloodiest day. But we're not going to talk too much about that. We're going to be exclusively focusing on this corps and which units you might want to take during multiplayer battles or single player if you're playing against the AI, maybe thematic schemes, all sorts of stuff. We're going to take a look at the infantry, the cav, the artillery, everybody. So this is an incredible moment, obviously, just because of the amount of work that has gone into this mod. Look at this little itty-bitty tiny Ambrose Burnside. I knew I had to, as soon as I saw his I had to show you guys, because it's like they put the work in, so I'm showing you. Alright. This mod is actually an update behind. We have even more units that are coming in, so I just knew I needed to get to work if I was going to start keeping up. But for today, we're going to be looking at each division within the Ninth Corps, and we'll look at the individual stats for the regiments, decide which ones we might want to take. And, yeah, so let's take a look here. Now, for historical context,
engage at will.
The Ninth Corps, commanded by Ambrose Burnside, with his very beautiful sideburns, he was crucial to the Union's strategy, but only to McClellan, because McClellan did not tell any of the other generals what anyone else was doing. I mean, just it was a disjointed assault. Anyway, he was tasked with crossing Antietam Creek. So we're going to be looking at the soldiers that did that and then fought just outside of Sharpsburg against A.P. Hill's Light Brigade. Or Light Division. Brigade. Way, way larger than a division. Alright, so, especially with this modded version of Napoleon, the Ninth Corps is recreated with remarkable precision. And each division and each regiment has its strengths and weaknesses, which is just, it's so nice. It's as good as you're ever going to get for any game that plays the American Civil War. Like, if you do any of the American Civil War tabletop games, this game is going to be right up your alley, especially with this mod. And it's not hard to install. So, although I should note that Gettysburg Scourge of War is getting a remake. The devs are redoing it, and that's going to be coming out. So that's close to this. And in fact, even a slightly even larger scale. So we're going to be looking at every single unit here because the devs put in the time and the work to make them. So that's what we're going to work on. And let's take a look at our first division here.
Reporting, General.
Or our first brigade. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at the 17th Michigan with Colonel William H. Withington from the Christ Brigade. They're bringing 525 men to the battle. Now they've got rifles. What can we do with that 500 men that we see here? So, accuracy of 22, reloading skill of 19, which is on the lower end of that spectrum, but their melee attack, charge bonus, and defense and morale is all at 14. That is a solid regiment. Put these guys somewhere in the middle of the line, or maybe just adjacent to it, and they will be able to just help hold it, especially if you put 500 dudes in a tree line. Man, that'd be perfect.
Waiting for orders, sir.
All
Waiting
right.
for orders, sir.
So we're going to look at the 50th Pennsylvania. So 370 men led by Major Edward Overton Jr. Alrighty. So that accuracy and that reloading skill still on that low end of 22 and 17. The ammunition is the standard, but their melee defense and their charge bonus at that 11 and 10 and 14. That's okay. The morale is fine. I might use these guys as backup if I want to bring them, but
Reporting, General.
you know, don't trust them with saving the Union. All right, let's take a look at these finely dressed Zouaves. The 79th New York, led by Lieutenant Colonel David Morrison, the Christ Brigade. All right, so a solid 300 men, and they've got rifles with that 170 range, and their accuracy is 27. Excellent. Their reloading skill is 22, just fine, and their ammunition is 30. Now, their melee attack is poor at 9, but their charge bonus is 12, and their defense is 15, and their morale is 14. So, if I am holding an objective, I'm going to put these guys on it, and I'm going to dare the enemy to come after my Zouaves. Absolutely. Beautiful.
Battle line.
Alrighty. Now, we've got the 28th Massachusetts, led by Captain Andrew P. Caraher, the Christ Brigade. And it's probably Christ, but I'm calling it Christ because it's funnier. Now, 217 men already. I'm not going to take these guys to a regular battle because their regiment will be too small to properly engage. I'll tell you right now, 300 or more, preferably 350, because a regiment of 217 men that shows up on the battlefield, if they come up against two larger regiments, they're going to get decimated quickly. As in my experiences, I tried a tactic where I tried to bring several small regiments together, and it did not work at all. I thought it was going to be fancy. Nope, I got corrected real quick. So, they've got a range of 170, an accuracy of 22, a reloading skill of 19, ammunition of 30, fine. Their melee attack is low, and their charge bonus, defense, and morale is decent. 15, 15, and 14. So, if you maybe you can afford them or something, and you want to use them on the offensive, or maybe to hold them on the defense. I don't know. You can bring them, but you know, the whole brigade's got pretty nice morale, which is nice.
Reporting, General.
All right, so let's take a look here. All right, the 45th. So who did I click on? There we go. I'm not losing my mind. The 45th Pennsylvania with Lieutenant Colonel John I. Curtin. Welsh Brigade. So 559 or 60 men. 560 men. There we go. They've got rifles. They've got a high accuracy of 28. They've got a great reloading skill of 26. They've got the same ammunition everyone else does. And their melee attack is 15. Their charge bonus is 16. And their defense and morale is both 13. You would be insane not to take the 45th Pennsylvania and use them effectively against the enemy with their large and effective size. Even if you want to take a couple of large regiments and space them out over a certain area to deter the enemy from getting through, you know, these are the guys that you're gonna use to do that. Oh, perfect. Big boys too.
Battle line.
Alrighty. Now we've got the 100th Pennsylvania. Looking good, boys. And they have 356 men, led by Lieutenant Colonel David A. Leckie. Now, his range is 170. So these guys got rifles. Their accuracy and reloading skill are both 27. Perfect. Ammunition, perfect. Just like everyone else. And some solid stats. Melee attack and charge bonus is 15 and 18. So they're over that 350 mark. And they're excellent in the charge and the attack. Their defense and morale is both 13. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
Reporting,
Now
General.
we're talking with the Welsh Brigade. You've got, oh my gosh, 900 men in 2 regiments who can fisticuffs.
Reporting, General.
Pretty nice. I like that. All right. The 46th New York, led by Lieutenant Colonel Joseph P. Girdhart, bringing 278 men, so a little bit on that lower side. But they do make up for it with a high accuracy of 28, a reloading skill of 25, and of course they have rifles, and their ammunition is fine. Their melee attack and charge bonus is 13, and their defense and morale is 12. So, bordering, like, they would be a very serviceable unit as part of this brigade. And if you like to play by brigades like me, then, obviously you're taking them to be a part of it. But keeping him on the inside might be better, so that a little bit of these troops can all lend some of their support while you're duking it out with the enemy. Alrighty, here, let's find.
Reporting, General.
There we go. The 8th Michigan, led by Lieutenant Colonel Frank Graves and Major Ralph Ely. So, 435 men, rifled guns. Their accuracy and reloading skill is poor. 21 and 20, so down there with the new recruit status. Their melee attack and charge bonus is 10 and 11, and then their defense is 10, and their morale is 12. So, fresh meat is what I'm guessing, is what you can expect out of them. So, expect fresh meat.
Reporting, General.
Alrighty. Let's move on to the 35th Massachusetts, led by Lieutenant Colonel Sumner Kiruth of Farrow's Brigade. 780 men. A huge regiment. Their accuracy is 22. Their reloading skill is 18. Oh, boy. But their melee attack, while only 11, their charge bonus is 13, their defense is 14, and their morale is 15. I'm definitely taking these guys. The 35th is coming with me on every campaign. And when it's their time to shine, they're going to be holding my objective. Because that's pretty high morale. There's not a lot of units that have higher morale. There are some, but...
Battle line. Reporting, General.
No.
Reporting, General.
There you are. Okay. The 51st New York, led by Colonel Robert P. Potter. 338 men in this regiment with rifled weapons. Their accuracy, oh, here we go. Now we're talking. Their accuracy is 32, and their reloading skill is 30. Excellent. I'm taking them. These guys are going to be deadly shots. They're just under that 350 mark, but they're going to be blowing them out of the water. Their melee attack is 22. Their charge bonus is 28. And their defense is 2, but who cares when their morale is 26? These guys, oh, man. Put them in the second row. Put them in the second row. If you can get them on high ground, all the better. But put them in the second row, and they will deliver devastating volleys at range. And to be able to countercharge with such high stats, chase the enemy off, and then deliver punishing fire back across the field. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. You could even combine them with these guys. Or with some of these other regiments that have maybe not high attack values, but decent attack values. And that's really all you need. So,
Waiting for orders, sir.
Alrighty. So now we've got the 51st Pennsylvania with Colonel John H. Hartranft. 336 men. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Now we find the meat and potatoes to some of this. I wonder if these are the guys that attacked. If I looked them up real quick. All right, 51st Pennsylvania, 335 men. They've got rifles. Their accuracy is 32. Their reloading skill is 30. Their melee attack is 22. Their charge bonus is 28. Their defense is 3. And their morale is 26. Oh, yeah. Take 2 green regiments and put them in front of these guys. And when the enemy goes to take them out, you can have both of these guys charge into them, into those. Normally, as I have noticed, players will use 2 regiments, just like this, to break through your lines and try and cause a falling back retreat.
Waiting for orders, sir.
Alrighty. Good times can't last forever, can they? We've got the 21st Massachusetts, led by Colonel William S. Clark, with the smallest regiment we've seen so far, 158 men. Their accuracy is 25. Their reloading skill is poor at 19. But their melee attack is 12, and their charge bonus is 15. Their defense is 16, and their morale is 14. While all those numbers are fine, if you're going to play the 9th Corps on a medium game, this is going to be like half the size. It's going to be like 70 dudes. So, or when it just get pulverized, because you'll still go up against 500-man regiments, and you'll get run up by these dudes. So keep them at home. Sorry, 21st Massachusetts. I'm sorry. Alrighty. Now we've got the 16th Connecticut with Colonel Francis Beach of Harlan's Brigade. 759 men. Excellent regimental size. They've got rifled guns. Their accuracy is poor, or I should say just baseline normal, at 21. Their reloading skill is 27, so they're going to be able to pump out a lot of rounds quicker than some of the other newer, smaller regiments that are out there. Their melee attack is 12. Their charge bonus is 15. Their defense is 10, and their morale is 12. Lower on the morale state. I would not trust them on the defense to hold a specific point, but I might put them in the second line and use it as like this foreboding giant regiment, or a couple of these. You could combine these guys into one terrifyingly large division that could take up your whole front line. Park them in some trees, and you have the rest of your army, 3 or 4 divisions, all holding everybody at bay, or being able to maneuver, I should say. So, all right. But they're not bad. They're not bad at all. Alrighty. We've got the 8th Connecticut here, led by Lieutenant Colonel Hiram Appleman. 421 men with a range of rifles at 170, an accuracy of 25, a very poor reloading skill at 15. Their melee attack is decent at 12, and their charge bonus is 20. Their defense is 12, and their morale is 14. So high morale, good charge bonus. Starting to see a theme of where you could maybe pair together a new brigade that you keep in the rear of talented, accurate shooters who are hard-hitting counterchargers. I'm liking it. I'm liking it very much. All right. We've got the 21st. No, this is the 4. Oh gosh, no, don't do that. Stay, boys.
Yes, sir.
Battle line.
Reporting, General.
Oh, did I get ahead of myself?
Battle line. Waiting for orders, sir.
Alrighty. 4th Rhode Island, led by Colonel William H.P. Steer. Harlan's Brigade, 447 men. They've got rifles. They have a fine accuracy, the baseline of 20. Their reloading skill is high at 26, which is nice to see. But man, oh man, they've got poor melee at 9, a charge bonus of 15, which is fine, but the defense and their morale is poor. Oh. So, if you bring them, they're not going to do you any favors. So, maybe if you position them in a way to where they're not under direct assault, you can bring them. Might think of them maybe shooting across a river or having some artillery backup or something like that.
Waiting for orders, sir.
Alrighty. Let's take a look at the 11th Connecticut, led by Colonel Henry W. Kingsbury. We're bringing 430 men to the battle with a range of 170. Their accuracy and reloading skill is the poorest we've seen so far at 16 for the 9th Corps. Their melee attack is 5, their charge bonus is 8, their defense is 5, and their morale is 5. Don't even bring them. There's no situation where these guys are going to do you any favor other than break and run. Artillery will break them, and they'll sprint out of there. They won't be able to hold their ground against even a moderately decent unit. I could see a much smaller Confederate regiment charging into these guys and them just shattering. So, leave them.
Reporting, General.
Alrighty. We've got another Zouave regiment here. Here we go with the 9th New York, led by Lieutenant Colonel Edgar A. Kimball. Fairchild's Brigade, 375 men. They've got a range of 170, so you don't have to worry about getting outranged with these bad boys. They have an accuracy of 33, so some of the highest we've seen. A reloading skill of 28, and standard ammunition size. Their melee attack is 16, their charge bonus is 25. Oh yeah. We're going to combine these guys into a new brigade of chargers going up the hill. Their defense is 8, and their morale is solid at 14, so absolute definite must bring every single time with the 9th New York here. And how could you not bring such snazzy looking gentlemen here?
Reporting, General.
Alrighty. We've got the 103rd New York, led by Major Benjamin Ringgold of Fairchild's Brigade. 202 men. They have rifles. They've got a great accuracy at 27, a great reloading skill at 26, the standard ammunition size. Their melee attack is 15. Their charge bonus is 22. Their defense is 10, and their morale is 13. Excellent. Bring them. Every time.
General.
Now we have the 89th New York with Major Edward Jardine. 370 men. They've got rifles. They've got a great accuracy at 31, a reloading skill of 27, a melee attack of 14, a charge bonus of 25. Excellent. A low melee defense, but that's not what this corps is for. And a high morale at 13. Bring them. You could form like 2 entire divisions with the amount of assault troops we have seen so far in the 9th Corps. Just straight up.
Reporting, General.
Alrighty. So, Let's see here. You.
Reporting, General.
You. Alright. We've got the 12th Ohio with Colonel Carr B. White from Ewing's Brigade. Oh boy. So they've got real poor accuracy at 18, but their reloading skill is 30, which makes me wonder, you know, is it 3 rounds a minute, but you're not supposed to be aiming? Their melee attack is 8, their charge bonus is 10, their defense is 8, and their morale is 7. Leave them at home. Don't bring them. Get some artillery instead or something.
Waiting for orders, sir. Battle line.
Reporting, General.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Reporting, General.
The 30th Ohio, of course named after my famous regiment in War of Rights, led by Lieutenant Colonel Theodore Jones. Now, they have pretty similar stats, a low accuracy, a high reloading skill, that 18 and 30, and their melee attack, poor at 8, charge bonus, fine at 10, very low end of the spectrum. Their defense is 9, and their morale is 7. So, don't expect
Reporting,
much from these guys. All right. And I think we're going to see that again. We've got the 23rd Ohio with Major J. James Comfy. And they've got that same poor accuracy, that same high reloading skill of 30. But all of their stats, 8, 10, 8, 8. I mean, we know those aren't good.
Reporting, General.
So if you take them,
Reporting, General.
I'm trying to think, this is not a bad number.
Battle line.
Put them in the woods. I don't know. I mean, any point of your line is going to come into contact with the enemy. Bringing anyone with poor morale just doesn't seem worth it. Bring Cav instead. Bring the max amount of artillery that you can, but don't bring regiments with poor morale. It's just not. It'll never work out for you.
Waiting for orders, sir.
Alrighty. Now we've got the 28th Ohio, led by Lieutenant Colonel Gottfried Becker with Crook's Brigade, and they're a little bit similar, but we've got some larger regiment size here. So 775 men. Their accuracy is 19. Their reloading skill is 25, which is fine. It's a lot of shots downrange. Their melee attack is 10, and their charge bonus is 13. So, okay, fine. Their defense is 6, and their morale is 7. So, we're seeing a definite degradation of unit combat ability
Reporting, General.
right here. Okay, let's look at the 36th Ohio, Lieutenant Colonel Melvin Clark commanding of Crook's Brigade, also 739 men. Range of, they've got rifled weapons, accuracy of 15, reloading skill of 15, terrible. Melee of 5, charge bonus of 10, defense of 6, and morale of 6. Skip, 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 skip.
Reporting, General.
The 11th Ohio, Lieutenant Colonel Augustus H. Coleman. Crook's Brigade, accuracy of 16, reloading skill of 16. Melee, charge bonus, defense, and morale. 5, 8, 5, 5. Nope, leave them at home. Take this whole brigade and leave them at home.
Orders, sir.
I mean, it might seem different or difficult to pass up
Reporting, General.
1,400 men like this, but 1,400 men running away once they get hit with just some artillery shells and musketry fire, and then you've got so many good elite units that are already up here
Reporting, General.
with high morale that are going to service you through the whole battle. So, all right. Now, let's move on. We have one more brigade to look at, which is Nagel's Brigade, and then we'll also include the artillery and the cavalry. Alrighty, welcome to our second portion of the Ninth Corps battle guide here. We're going to finish off with Nagel's brigade, which was the last one that we need to kind of fit on here before we start talking about some others. So 710 men led by Colonel Enoch Q. Fellows, great name, of the 9th New Hampshire, but poor accuracy and reloading skill at 15 each. Their melee attack is 7, their charge bonus is 8, their defense is 15, which is fine. That's okay. And their morale is 10, which is fine. It's okay. Don't rely on them for anything, but interesting stats.
Reporting, General.
Alrighty, we've got the 48th Pennsylvania, the Lieutenant Colonel Joshua K. Siegfried. Bring in 390 men, not bad. Their accuracy and reloading skill is 15. Their melee attack is 7. Their charge bonus is 8. Their defense is 15, which is fine, and their morale is 9. Oh boy.
Reporting, General.
And we've got 150 men with the 6th New Hampshire, led by Colonel Simon G. Griffin. Now, their accuracy is fantastic, 25, loading skill 29, and their melee attack is fine at 9. Its charge bonus is 10, and their defense is 15, which is fantastic, and their morale is 12, which is fantastic. But at 150 men on the huge scale setting that it's on now, this unit is too small to bring. These guys would not be able to beat these guys. It's just a simple... Oh, yeah. Just don't bring them. Not worth it.
Battle line.
Alright, I guess unless you have extra money and you want to throw it on a skirmisher-like regiment. 167 men with the 2nd Maryland, led by Lieutenant Colonel J. Eugene Dury. Their accuracy and reloading skill is 20 and 25, which is fine. They've got rifles. Their melee attack is poor at 9, and their charge bonus is only 5, so don't expect a lot. But their defense is 14, and their morale is 12, so I guess that's something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure it's just worth it in any shape, form, or fashion. So let's move on to the Cav. Probably the most important, second most important battlefield unit to have, because if you don't bring Cav, your enemy will. And they are not going to be nice to you when they've got their own Cav running circles around you. So we've got 8 companies led by Colonel Thomas C. Devon with the 6th New York Cavalry. Their accuracy, oh, look at this. So their range is 150. Their accuracy is 26. And their reloading skill is 26. So fantastic. Ammunition of 40. They'll keep shooting all day long. Their melee attack is 14. Their charge bonus is 19, which is great. Their defense is 29. And their morale is 19. Dismount these boys. Leave the enemy or the horses in front and retreat through them. They'll hate you for it, but I see it done all the time in games. Absolutely bring these guys. You're going to use them in a defensive posture to rush forward and take objectives to hold off the enemy or to fight enemy cav. This is a no-brainer. The 6th New York is a unit that you bring every match because you'll find use for them. And if not, then you dismount them, and you have a 375-man regiment that can run around on the ground that's got great shooting stats. Perfect.
Heard some fighting over there.
Alrighty.
Sir.
Let's take a look at who's next. Shambeek's Company of Chicago Dragoons. Captain Frederick Shambeck. Oh, beautiful name, but 42 men. Accuracy and reloading skills is both fine at 26. Their melee attack is 15, their charge bonus is 22, their defense is 26, and their morale's 23. But they're smart. Just don't bring them because once again, you're just gonna find unless you have extra money to spare and you don't know what else to get.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, let's take a look at the Ohio Cav. Also, as a independent company, so accuracy is 25, reloading skill is 25, ammunition count is 40, so 10 more than infantry. Remember that. Melee attack is 13, charge bonus is 18, their defense is 28, and their morale is 20. So, a high morale Cav is excellent for keeping the enemy at bay. I love that. Alrighty. Too bad their companies are so small. So here's Gilmore's company, West Virginia Cav, Lieutenant James Abraham. 175 men, accuracy of 23, reloading skill of 23, melee attack and charge bonus of 12 and 14. Their defense is 20, and their morale is 15. So, fine, I suppose, but small. So, let's take a look at Harrison's company, West Virginia Cav, Lieutenant Dennis Delaney. Accuracy and reloading skill of 23, melee attack and charge bonus of 12 and 14, defense of 20, and morale of 15. Okay, so here's what I would do. I'm going to skip these smaller companies because 100 men, no. Take him and these two. These two regiments work in conjunction of each other. This regiment works in conjunction with your infantry line on the other side. If you have extra cash to bring, then you can bring one of these other independent companies to really, annoy people. All righty. So that's it for all of the Cav. Now we're going to take a look at some artillery. Wherever they're at. Okay. So, you're going to get no fun descriptions. Sorry, artillerists. There's no description for you. The 2nd New York Battery I, led by Captain Jacob Romer. 6-gun, 3-inch. Firepower is 288. Their range is 915, which is larger than some, but not as much as we would like. Their accuracy is high at 65, and the reloading skill is 30. So, 3-inch guns, if you're Union, bring them. Bring as many, bring all 18 of your guns as 3-inchers. And just shell the enemy artillery into submission. And then once those guns are gone and out of the way, you're king of the battlefield. And if the red player is smart, he's going to do the exact same thing to you. Get your artillery up as soon as you can and start firing. Especially in an advantageous position, which is going to be important. All right, Massachusetts Light, 8th Battery, led by Captain Cook. 6 guns, James Rifle Battery. Firepower of 288. Range 915, accuracy of 65, reloading skill of 30. Morale is at 40. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to make artillerists run because they're shooting. They got to have high morale for a reason. All right. This Kentucky Light Artillery, Simmons Battery. 6-gun, 10-pound Parrots. A firepower of 156, so a significant drop in power. They have a higher range, but not by much, and a smaller accuracy and a lower reloading skill. Don't even bring them. Don't even bring them. Not worth it. All right, Pennsylvania Light Battery D, Captain George W. Durrell, 10-pound Parrots Battery. That lower firepower, again, with 156. The range of 925, the lower accuracy of 55, and the reloading skill of 20. Would lose in a duel. So, all right, Ohio Light Artillery 1st Battery with Captain McMullen. 6 guns, James Rifles. Firepower of 288, range of 915, accuracy of 65, reloading skill of 30, morale of 40. Boom. You just have all 3 of your batteries. Oh, man. I need to drink some water. All right. Doing this for so long. The 5th United States Battery A, led by Lieutenant Charles P. Muhlenberg. That lower firepower of 180 and the range of 810, accuracy of 65, reloading skill of 30. I see players bring Napoleons all the time, and I knock out their Napoleons. So maybe if you have enough money for some, but just bring the 3-inch guns.
Medium cannon!
And then shell the enemy. Alrighty. 20-pound Parrots. From the 2nd U.S. Artillery Battery, F, commanded by Lieutenant Samuel N. Benjamin. So a smaller gun battery here. We're just down to 4. Its firepower is 16. Its range is 950. And its accuracy is 60. So definitely a situational weapon. Not something I would bring on most fights. Then we have the 3rd United States Battery, L and M, with Captain John Edwards. 4 guns, 10-pound Parrots battery, firepower of 104, range of 925, accuracy of 55, reloading skill of 20. No thanks.
Battery reporting!
And 4th U.S. Artillery Battery, F, or is that E? Captain Joseph C. Clark, Jr., 4 guns, 10-pound Parrots battery. Same. Firepower of 104, range of 925, 55 accuracy. Nope, not worth it. Just bring the 3-inch guns and you're going to be good to go. Alrighty. Next, you're going to see the 9th Corps in battle with a simulated...
Engage at will! Artillery!
Alright. And that's going to be the end of our review. Didn't do the skirmishers, because the skirmishers are just an annoyance. If you've got the money, you know, they're like $20 each for some of them, so you can just pick one of those up. But there you go. A full breakdown of the 9th Corps at Antietam, as it's represented in this modded version of Napoleon. I hope you guys use this information for good. That's all I could say, but
Medium cannon!
really effective. Some really great units in this Corps, so I'm gonna definitely hop on and I'll be playing with them for quite a bit. Now, if you liked the video, please hit the like and subscribe button, because we're going to be looking at all of the armies that are in this mod, and there are many dozens now. We've got a lot of historical units to break down.
Engage at will!
I absolutely love this mod for that reason, so go ahead and put in the comments what corps you think is next, or which corps you would like to see, and I'll get to that. And you know what? I'll see you on the battlefield. Bye-bye.